So legal loopholes and regulatory failures. Are there gaps in the law that allowed her to operate freely? If so, what changes should be made to close the loopholes and to prevent future abuses? Well, you've got to have the informed consent. So let's say, for example, this is legal. Okay, you can legally prescribe abortifacients, and there's nothing legally wrong with killing a baby at this stage, a very healthy and natural stage of implantation. Then there should be informed consent of the woman there. The woman should not only the woman, all right, but also the father. Right, the father is at risk of having his child dying, and then, well, what do we have now? We have these women that are not married, and these people are sleeping around, and it's a mess. It's an absolute mess of what society should be. So these legal loopholes, right? At the very least, we should be able to say, and not say it is a blastocyst that failed to implant. I mean, that's not. They're making it seem like there's blastocysts coming left, right, and center. There's blastocysts here, blastocysts there. It's not even. That's not the case, right? So the very, very, rare and precious, embryo, which is a baby, very, very rare and precious embryo, will be conceived, right? Will be conceived. Why? Because the ovulation occurred, right? So the ovulation is occurred in the implantation there. The sperm will meet the egg. The implantation was successful. Sorry, I shouldn't say implantation. It should be conception. And at the implantation stage, the very natural and healthy stage in development, because of these drugs, the baby will die. The small boy or the small girl will die. So if you say that like that, the chances are that you will not be able to. The customers will refuse to will refuse to purchase that. Death drug, right? They will not want to because they say, well, what are you talking about? I mean, you're not preventing pregnancy at all. You're just killing the baby that has been conceived. But you see that should be at the very very least we should be able to have that conversation, right? We should be able to have that conversation, but you can't have that conversation because it sells less prescriptions and the very beautiful they're salivating at the idea of the profit margins. So I talked about that in the video, but don't quote me on any of those numbers. The real numbers will come at discovery. But that's why I didn't get into any of the numbers. But if you're interested in that video, we talked about that in the profit margins. What kind of profit? What a suggestion of what would be the ballpark estimate of something that a ballpark estimate of something that a profit margin will look like for these kind of death drugs, right? How much money is being made on these death drugs? Well, it takes probably 2 cents worth of poisonous chemicals to formulate this death drugs, and they will sell it for $20, right? So it takes 2 cents, and they sell it for $20 or whatever more. It's a thousands of percent of profit margins or whatever. I mean, don't even quote me on the numbers because it's not even important, right? Unless we have the discovery and the official documents, talking about the profit margins, there's no sense in even suggesting making a suggestion of what a profit margin could look like. But it's high. I can assure you that it's unlike any other type of industry. And these types of legal loopholes. Well, who's really making the laws, right? Is it the industry? Well, perhaps, right? Is the industry making the laws? Oh, another topic. It's always, I mean, this snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. I'm getting really sick and tired of it, to be honest. I'm really sick and tired of making these videos. But it's snowballs and snowballs and snowballs. So another video would be, and I'm sure that we'll find some information about how the industry will regulate. Uh, anyway, so I'll see you in the next video.